Oh, were y'all enjoying the music? Oh, no. Actually, I keep forgetting to check something. Nope, that's not it. I keep forgetting to check my fucking audio. Yeah, there we go. I always forget to do it. You make sure that recording. Let's turn all the way up levels. Oh, okay. It was almost at max. It was at 94 rather than 100. So you should be able to hear me pretty well. Let me make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay. I'll need him. I'll need him bigger than me. Outcompeting me. So, what's going on, folks? I it been playing fucking pirate game. Also been playing like this fucking thing here. Is this a Switch? Nintendo Switch? Is that what this thing is? Been trying out the new Pokemon since my wife plays a game for an entire week, and that's it. And she moves on to another game and never finishes it. So she bought Pokemans, and she bought the double pack, which I'm not sure why she would buy it, knowing that she would only play it a week, but that's fine. Her money, whatever. And she ended up letting my cousin borrow one because I was like, I'm just going to wait till you stop playing yours, and I'll, you know, yeah, Oni-san is white. I'm aware that Onizian is white. I'm fully aware of that. I'm on top of that. The only reason I even know about this, I'm not even gonna lie, is because of Creepshow, aka Shannon. So I'm not even gonna fucking lie. I just been watching a lot of her videos. I'd heard something kind of iffy going on about this guy and his behavior, but I never heard like a chronological, like a chronological retelling of all the weird, creepy things throughout the years, and it does come across. Again, I've not sat and I've not done any type of independent study on any of this kind of stuff. I'm just going based on what other people have said. And it's probably not the best thing to do, but it seems like there may be some truth to it. Evidently, Chris Hansen's involved, and there was something that was troubling enough that his Patreon got shut down. And I was like, wow, I know this guy. I know he used to be. Here's what he's some big YouTuber. I don't really know what he did. I think if I'm somebody, feel free to correct me. But he's one of these just loud and obnoxious fucking people who just make videos that are like kind of like Vines. If anyone remembers Vines, and so that's what I guess the kiddies love, that kind of shit. I don't know. Like I was never into the YouTube trend of, well, let me just go into a grocery store and start screaming shit. That didn't appeal to me. I was like, you know what? At one point in time, I wanted to have a big old YouTube channel too, but I realized that. I'm not about that life. I'm just not. And if anybody has ever listened to me at any point in time talk about kind of how I feel about I'm underwater, folks who make it their living to do this kind of stuff, you got to actually put in a lot of work for it. One thing, it's not my cup of tea, but if somebody really wants to do it, you could be like fucking Dark Matter. But I think even Dark Matter has he has a day job, so. Like, to be completely dependent on YouTube, it's just I don't see how people do it. Like, it's just so fickle, so fucking fickle. You end up becoming a slave to your audience, and so you can never really just do the stuff that you enjoy. You're gonna do what you're financially tied to, right? So if your audience turns a particular direction politically or socially, guess what you're doing? So you have to end up sacrificing your integrity at some point in order to pay those fucking bills. So I'm not the one for it. I can't. I don't know. No. Not me. But anyway. So I saw a part of this video here on Creepshow's channel, and I was like, this can't be real. Like, this is some old shit. And, she's just fucking around. But no, this is it. No, this is his reaction to Patreon shutting him down, and he's reacting to all the people who, you know, who are out to get him. Like a lot of the stuff, a lot of the notions here, I'm starting to see a lot of parallels with like people like Von Helton and Steve McRae and all these folks who are absorbed into the internet and who think that they're actually somebody in real life. And it's a weird disconnect from reality. And probably why I don't respect any of these fucking people. But let me be honest. There's very few people on here I respect. I get along with enough people, but if anybody has seen me for any point in time or experienced me, I'm just gonna be honest with you, right? If you want me to, I'm just gonna tell you how I think, how I feel about you, and if you don't like me, that's unfortunate, because I don't give a shit. But anyway, let me just play this shit, because I'm gonna do two things. If you have a vagina, you better hold on to it. Because this is not the only video I will be playing. I will also be playing a D-Roy video. Surprise! You thought you were getting away from D-Roy. No. If you have a vagina, and I'm saying that for a reason, D-Roy has some advice for you women's. So all of you women's out there who are being flirtatious, secular or not, you better beware. D-Roy got something for you. So I actually listened to this video I think 2 days ago when I was playing Pokemon, and I was like, this guy is really up his own ass. So I have to. There's a part 2 that I've not listened to, and we might listen to that. I don't know. So it's gonna be a listening party. Fucking goddamn. There we go. Jesus. Fucking ladder. I keep jumping off my ship and not putting down my ladder. It's a pain in the ass to get it up there too. So what the fuck are you doing down there? Come on, tigers. Come on. That's all you? Alright, my beautifuls. Y'all see these tigers? Somebody gave me these tigers. I brought him some oil. Definitely not from the Middle East. Definitely not. And he gave me some tigers. So that's what we do. That's how we pirate. What are you doing? What are you fuck on the cannon. Alright. So without further ado.
And please gather around, for what you're about to see is get your popcorn, because honestly this is a bigger meltdown than Chernobyl. This is something else. He released a video a few days ago, and it was, please stop this. When you watch it, it sort of devolves into this sort of satirical thing where he's sort of playing on it, but in the beginning it really did seem like he was having a genuine meltdown. But this one is a new level, baby. Really, strap yourselves in, get something normalicious.
I don't know if this guy is Australian or from New Zealand, I can't tell. But I like his voice.
Fair use, and so if he does happen to strike this, it's fair use. It's all on YouTube, and there's a commentary on it.
Wow. So you guys are so into yourselves, like you are so committed.
He's got this crazy thing going on. He's got the wet hair, like he just got out of the shower. He was in like this deep meditative state, and he's like, best thing to do, grab a camera. So he does. He looks like he honestly looks terrifying.
Committed to censoring innocent people that you're just gonna go and try to get my Patreon deleted now. Oh, you have an opinion of me, so you're just gonna try and ruin my entire career. Really?
Woohoo! He's got them crazy eyes on.
You're going to do. Oh, I'm sorry. The FBI never showed up. Oh, I'm sorry. The cops are all about Onion Boy because turns out didn't break a single law. So what do? Oh, well, our opinions have been invalidated so many times of him that we're gonna disable his Patreon. Wow, you would really do that.
Like, what else does he expect us to do? He's been asking for it essentially for the past 5-10 years. Surely he could have seen this coming.
That. You tried to do the FBI, didn't work. You tried to do the police, didn't want.
Sure, he will see his day in court.
Shut the fuck up. I just want to see it and laugh.
So instead, you resort to the paycheck. And you got it. You got it. All my patrons have been deleted.
We finally did it, ladies and gentlemen. Disabled. This man has no more money. Not only that, he has a $600,000 debt in US to the government for tax evasion. This is just beautiful. I love it. Every moment.
Are you happy? No!
Yeah.
Is this what you want, huh? Is this what you want a total meltdown? Do you like kombucha? I love kombucha! Woo, 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 woo. Drinks like pee and smell.
You see, this is where it sort of gets to the point where you don't know if he's playing on it, or if he is honestly this crazy when he has a meltdown, then he really is unstable. Would not want to be around someone like this. I can't imagine where or what his partner's doing. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm waiting for
where
him to
this
sell
man
the remote
lives,
too.
Just be careful. You don't know what's going to happen in that area. He seems quite unstable right now. Yeah, just honestly, be prepared for anything to happen. Kind of scary.
Smells even worse. Oh, my Patreon's deleted. My Patreon. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'm covered in kombucha.
This is what the atheists
Honestly,
do.
it's a wonder that he had any patrons to begin, like, after all of this. Surely, if you're a patron, then you'd be up to date with, like, what he's posting.
Don't be naive.
Now,
There's always
you
going to be
think maybe
stupid
there's a few
motherfuckers that
categories
give
of
other
human
motherfuckers money.
that would give money to this quality of human. It's going to be edgy teens that are going against the grain, and they're going to look back and they're going to think, what was I doing? I wasted money on this person. Then there's other people like him. There's other people like him that exist that are giving him money because they like what he's about. And then there's some other people that are going to be giving him money because they just want to see what he puts out on Patreon.
Speaking of which, I should probably upload me doing some lab stuff on Patreon.
One like for a prayer that we never see him again on Patreon or any other, or just no one giving him money. Sure, he can have a Patreon, but no, actually, no Patreon.
And I have no more Patreon.
Okay, now I'm just questioning: was he wet beforehand because he like bathed in kombucha, or did he just have to have a shower and now he's just putting kombucha on? Not sure also why you'd waste that. Kombucha is kind of expensive. Personally, at this point, whether he's
Pretty sure he's
sincerely
faking, but
upset,
he
sure,
just went to the top of the wish list. Have Adam Doc.
Now just this to me.
another thing. I
He would
love
do
to
perfect
know
for Psychic Vampire
these
podcast.
hurls and like puking
No,
things that he does. He did it in his
I'm just
previous
like,
video of, Please
I don't know
Stop
what to
This.
say about this.
But he kept like hurling up, and you know, is it real or is it just all for show? So right now, it
This-
seems
all this
that
can't be
he's
real.
Probably just trying to ride the wave out, instead of just being like completely burnt out, just like ripped off of YouTube. He's probably just
He has nice
riding
boobs.
this, like,
Not better than mine.
you know,
Not better than mine.
evil wave that he can. He's sort of playing the villain, it seems. And how much longer it's going to last? Not exactly sure. Is he going to do it?
Who
is he
stole
going to have
$3,000?
interview
Stand for
anyone to
Christ.
explain
Stupid
this stuff?
stupider motherfucker
Probably
here.
not. His personality just doesn't seem like.
Yeah, I
he'd be
don't
open
know
to
what's
that
going on
sort
here.
of thing. It's especially.
Oops. All right. So, anyway, That's enough of that. Get my chat back up. So, yeah, that's a thing that happened. Activate local assets. Yeah, get him. Get him. Get him. If y'all didn't know, Doc Savage and Omni Eris have a show, Psychic Vampire Podcast. If you like weirdos being excoriated, and I say weirdos like Lord Stephen Christ and his following, we'll call it that. That's the kind of features you'll see on there. Quite funny because there's a really weird hate boner, like towards Omni. I think more towards Omni, less towards Doc. I want to say from Nalon, but I could be wrong. There's a lot of characters, a lot of players there, a lot of moving parts. I had the pleasure of interacting with one from the Lord Stephen Christ cult, and man, are they fucking stupid. Oh, they're fucking stupid. Kabuki Bob and the Swamp Squad tracking on you, boy. Oh, you better protect his asshole. Yeah, so man, that's yeah. By the way, folks, if y'all have podcast shows, link them. I don't, don't give a shit. So I've been noticing there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers start following me on the Twitters, and there's one in particular. I was like, Yeah, actually, no. There's a few. There was somebody yesterday that followed me, and I showed my wife, and they're like, okay. But there's some other folks too. And I'm like, y'all just wait for me to fucking try and roast somebody. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, like, I'd look on that thing every 2 days or some shit like that. Well, now 2 days. I used to go on every day just to see who I could fuck with, but because I actually got trolled on Twitter. Like, somebody pretended to be some crazed Muslim, and I'm like, I thought about it, I was like, yeah, no, this guy's not really Muslim. He's just playing. So he got me. He wasted some of my time. I said, you know what, GG. What else is going on? Oh, so it looks like I'll be making 2 turkeys. If y'all don't know that, I fry turkey every year. So I'm frying one for my little brothers, and I'm frying one for us. So it's going to be me sitting outside, and I might just go live just so I can have something to look at. Or I might try and find a way. Actually, no, I might just play Pokemon. Fuck going live, because it's boring as shit. I'm sitting there. I stopped using the grease. By the way, if you're trying to fry a turkey and you live in apartments, you can do it if you know what you're doing. If you've never fried turkey before and you're on the first floor of your apartments, you may want to talk to your leasing office about how you could do such a thing. It is possible. You can do it in the driveway, especially if you have like sand. But if you've never done it before, I wouldn't suggest doing it at somebody's apartment. But because people end up just dunking the turkey into, this is with an oil fryer, by the way. They end up just dunking it in there, and they don't realize that the oil is going to come up and it's going to boil because of the moisture. And so that all that oil that goes over the edge is going to get hit. It's going to hit that fire. And so guess what? That's going to go up, back from the source of where all that oil is. And so once that fire gets inside there, what do you think's going to happen? And so every year somebody fucking blows up themselves. So, but you can take the worry out of it and just get an air fryer. Much healthier anyway. I personally enjoy the oil fryer because you get that you can get that taste of that oil in there. Woo! But you inject it properly, which I'm going to be molesting my turkey later. Oh, I'm getting fired on. I'm going to be molesting my turkey. My little brother's molesting his now. So that's going to definitely be a thing. That's definitely going to be a thing here soon. Whoop. Fuck you. There we go. I'm having Thanksgiving dinner and streaming about how evil Thanksgiving is. There you go. Yeah, I just, it's an excuse for me to eat food that, I don't normally eat. I'm not celebrating shit. I'm not sure really what the celebration is about, but imperialism. I don't know, colonialism, but it's just kind of fucked up once you think about it. I'm getting tired of y'all shooting me. Quit shooting me. I said no. You're fucking me up. Which is sad because I have tigers on here and I cannot outrun them, and I have no one on my back. Oh no, I got one person on my back. There we go. Yeah, this is shitty. What else? So, women's, females, whatever you want to call yourself, DeRoy Cruz, your life application officer, has some news for you. Most of us understand a few things about women. DSP is streaming Ask the King tomorrow, and he's eating with Jasper and Cat. So he's eating with 2 cats. Okay. Most of us understand there are women out there who love penis. There are women out there who like attention. Sometimes they'll combine those things and have a particular sets of behaviors that will give them both at the same time. It's crazy. This is not how women should be. All right? That's I'm giving you the long and short of it. That's really what it is. Like, his fucking video is just, it's all over the place, and of course he goes into a story about his coworkers, and I'm still waiting on a good conversation he's had with a coworker. I really wish he would do that. For those of you who don't know, he did not upload this video on his regular channel. He uploaded it on Cruise for Christ, so that's probably why you don't know about this video. So you can probably see here. Oh, he changed the name of it. No, hold on, wait. Are women honest among men? Should feminine beauty be scrutinized? Yeah, this was not the title, but then the second one: Are women honest among men? Part 2: the morale of cleavage. Well, cleavage can act as increasing one's morale. I think so. So there we go. So I hope hold on to your vaginas, folks, women's, because this one's a doozy. I'm honestly just gonna play it and just kind of talk to y'all, because I've not had coffee this morning at all, and kind of wait for Mrs. Drag to get off of work, because she gets off of work early, probably about 2 hours, and then we'll start molesting some food and playing some Pokemon, and I will probably. I don't know. I'll probably start laughing at people again and nuzzle in her breasticles. So, what up, Dragnot? Please call G-Man and give us 30 good minutes of that. I've not been able to get in contact with him, and he's blocked my number, and I blocked his number, so I can't actually call him. LEG, where are you from? Are you from one of the camps? I don't recognize your name, man. What's going on? Is DeRoy MGTOW? No, DeRoy is not MGTOW. Thomas Lundy is MGTOW. You're probably getting him confused with Thomas Lundy, and if he's in the chat, he can speak for himself. But no, Thomas Lundy is MGTOW. Smoked Turkey's favorite. Yeah, buddy of mine from Killeen, Texas, the guy that I serve with, he is big on smoking stuff, but he knows that I was the guy who did the fried turkey. And he was the guy who would smoke like whole pigs and all that kind of shit. And his big old smoker, like, he'd be up there for like 8 to 10 hours. I was like, man, what time you woke up? I was up at like 4. I was like, really, man? Like, we just came out the box. Like, you got up at 4. Oh man, so I didn't want turkey that bad. You know, I don't want no pig that bad. Damn, you know, it's all about the art. I'm like, all right, well. More power to you, brother. Not me. Not this one. I'll be out here for a few hours cooking some of these turkeys, but no. I'm about to crash the goddamn ship. No. That's what I get for not paying attention. That's what I get for not paying attention. So. Anyway, without further ado,
Well, hello.
Let me know if there's an
Your Life
echo.
Applications Officer on my Cruise for Christ channel. I'm doing this video on this channel because I want to talk to Christians as well as those in the secular world who think that everything's okay.
Oh, so this is a dual purpose one.
The title of my video will be, Are Women Honest Among Men? I'll show you what I mean. Should women be given scrutiny about modesty? I used to be heavily addicted to porn. Okay. And for a while I was heavily addicted to porn. And I come out of it understanding that a man can be sexually overcharged or have unbridled sexual desire above other men, regardless of what those other men are seeing every day. You know, I know guys who, you know, they go to beaches all the time. And, you know, and I mean, don't get me wrong, there's this whole thing out there. You can get used to letting women be naked, so to speak, around you because you feel that they're women and in their world, their species, where they come from, they have a right to do that. Us men, we have to look at ourselves, as my piano player friend told me, who goes to Florida and he loves to go to the beaches. Not so much to get in the water, but just to be there. To look at, obviously, to be around women being almost completely as naked as possible. And he got on this rant about, you know, well, there's nude beaches out there where you're not allowed to get an erection, and there's nude, you know, restaurants where you can go in and all the women are nude and all like that. Man, you know, read your Bible, man. You're not supposed to lust after women. You know, I mean, he says it goes both ways. You can't lust after women, but you can't judge them either. You can't lust after women, no matter what they're wearing, no matter how they present themselves, how they carry themselves. You're not to lust after women. Okay? You're not to lust after women, but you're not to judge women either. Let that sink in for a minute. Think about that. You are not to lust after women, but you're not to judge women either. Now, women, it would be wrong for a man. Let me give you an example. Let me play it right back. It would be wrong for a man to say that a woman has a certain attitude or personality, or even say that she's a feminist because she's fat. She can't get a boyfriend or a husband. That's why she's a feminist. It'd be wrong. Let me roll that right back before you even start thinking like that. Let me roll that right back, right? It would be wrong to say that. Oh, well, she can't get a boyfriend, so she's a feminist because she can't get a boyfriend. She's gay because she can't get a boyfriend. She's gay and she's feminist because she don't like boys because boys don't pay her attention. See, that would be wrong for me to say that, right? On the flip, it would also be wrong for a man to go up to a woman, and women are dumb about this, very, very naive about this. It would be very wrong because, you know, let me tell you the things, being you hate Donald Trump so much, so you throw him in there. Let me tell you the things that Donald Trump understands, that me and Donald Trump understand. Me and Donald Trump understand that a lot of women don't understand. It's just as wrong for a man to go up to a woman and spend all this time talking to a woman, buttering her up, getting her to open up on him and vent and talk about whatever she wants to talk about when he's only got one thing on his mind. I work around men every day, all day, that have this analogy.
All right. All right. So I'm going to pause the video, and I want anybody in the chat right now, because I've not said a word, and I warn those of you who have vaginas about this. It only gets worse from here. I've warned you. I want someone to type out his thesis. What is the central point that he is trying to get at? Just based on what you have heard, all right? I think I'm gonna go make me some fucking coffee. I want you to type out what you think he's getting at, because there's a part 2 to this shit. And like I said, it gets worse. It gets way worse. It gets way worse. Way worse than this. Because he starts to talk about, if you were wondering, because some of you have been following me review him for a while, he has mentioned his attraction toward a particular Asian woman. He will go in explicit detail about his interactions with this particular Asian woman. I have no idea whether she's Vietnamese, whether she's Taiwanese, whether she's Japanese, Chinese. I have no idea. He just calls her the Asian woman. So he doesn't even know what nationality she is. Has no idea about anything about her ethnic background, but you will see him imitate her mannerisms, and it's quite clear that he has an Asian fetish. He actually goes into how he developed it. It gets really weird. But as somebody who loves him some Asian women, not all Asian women are the same. I don't really have a huge thing for Taiwanese women. Vietnamese women can be pretty cute, but I prefer Japanese generally than Chinese. And if you've seen any women's from Bali, they're definitely high up there too. But anyway, Angry Rose says, shit, no wonder his ass is single. Oh, you ain't seen shit yet. You will find out real quick why he's single. I'm just pausing it right here just so we can all I want somebody to try and just think about his central thesis. Just keep that in mind. I'm glad you're reviewing this video because he put a thumbnail of a busted woman on the red. I think that's the thumbnail for the first one. The second one is just about titties. I've not listened to the second one, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get to it. That's racist. That's too bad. Let's see. Dragnet women should submit to men and should never assert herself against man's wishes. We're getting there. Think his thesis is hoes mad. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Nice and concise. Hoes mad. There we go. Mike, you should put that on a shirt and sell it. Just like Bitchmate. But anyway, let me not be petty and reference people using vernacular that they've never used in their life and pretending like they fucking came up with it and then had nerve enough to put it on the shirt and start selling it. But I still, I went to a meetup, a black male conference, and I know that's going to trigger Converse Contender, and I actually showed them the Non Sequitur website with the bitch made shirt on it, and they had a good laugh. Everybody, all of us had a good laugh. Had a good laugh about that. Oh my god, because they, so anyway, but feel free. I'm surprised nobody's been taking my sayings and putting them on shirts. You should make some money. Anyway, the women's is out of control. It's men folks got to police them hoes. That's actually pretty close. You are really close, Aaron Massa. You are really close to what he's gonna get at later. You just don't know.
That they always have to be buttering up women.
Guilty.
They always have to be wherever the women are. They have to be up in their face, bugging them, talking to them. How you doing, ma'am? How are you today? You looking lovely today. Because why? Women don't do that to us.
Yes, they do.
Women don't come up to men. And
yeah. So let me say something real quick here, Mr. D-Roy. Dragnut needs a ponytail, earrings, play pirate game. I should make my guy something like that. He's I made him fat. There we go. Big arms, made him fat. He's close to me. But let me say something, D-Roy, because I heard you say this and I had to laugh. I had to fucking laugh because that doesn't happen to you. I've had women do that to me. When I worked at Lowe's after I got out the military, I've had women come up to me, "Oh hey," and I'm like, "You want some dick?" And this game is Atlas, by the way. This is Atlas. Drag. How do you know she wants some dick? There was 2 black guys who worked there, right? She fucked one of us, okay, and she tacitly admitted in a conversation in the back that she was going for 2 for 2. Okay, so diabetic arms. So it's like this is you, D-Roy. Women don't do this to you. That's because women have to be what is that word? Attracted to you. One fucked up and got drunk and thought she was, and she regretted her mistake and rectified that later. But no, women do this. They actually do. Women will go out and do that. So just because women don't talk to you doesn't mean that I was applying. Oh, you're a specialist too. I was appliance specialist. Just because women don't come up and talk to you that way doesn't mean that's something that women don't. Yes, they do. Women are thirsty as hell, and they will do that, especially when they just want some penis. They will definitely do that. Definitely. So at Lowe's, you can shop for dick. Look, I'm not going to say whether or not you could go to certain departments or stand in a certain area and acquire some penis on the way out. I'm not saying that you can definitely fucking do that, but you can definitely fucking do that. I think there's a Lowe's equivalent to in Canada. I can't remember what it's called, but that's definitely a thing. Other than it being like a resource for lesbians. I'm not really sure why. There's a Lowe's lesbian joke. Jade, bless her heart, she knew that joke better than me because I forgot it. But anyway, I think D-Roy, you generalize way too much, and you forget that you are not the most attractive, not the most intelligent dude in the world. So I'm not sure really why you would think that your personal experiences with women encompass all other guys' experience. Like I can't even for me, I was one of those dudes who was a little bit jealous. Oh, millwork. Oh yeah, you do seem like a millwork guy. What is he talking about? I can catch fuck faces all the time with extreme thirst. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about, Grumpy. I'm not sure if he realizes that, and actually, he does. Like he actually says it. He actually acknowledges why women don't come up to him. So this is weird, and you'll hear him talk about it later. And so that's what really confuses me. It really confused me because he understands that he doesn't have. Do we get off D-Roy training? Agrippa, even your masterful pimp skills can't help D-Roy. If y'all don't know, D-Roy is just Agrippa is living the man's life right now, the bachelor's life. You know, even my wife turned her head when she heard some of the stuff. Like, what? So it's there. He needs to grow another foot and to be less ugly and be like there's nothing that women actually go for that he has. Dragon, that cool to see you have Neil 6048 this as your avatar. Hey, look, I was going for it. Somebody cut my hair recently. I'm gonna get it back. Middle-aged women shopping for wood all the time at millwork. All the time. Millwork and the pro desk. Oh yeah. The women's don't want me and got it, so I gotta control them. Yeah. So there's a few things, and I said this on Talking Shit Tuesday once. I can look at a woman and tell. This is me bragging. I can look at a woman and kind of tell what she wants. There's 4 or 5 major highlights that most women go for, and some of them are kind of silly, and some of them are like, okay, duh. One of them is like being 6 feet tall or more, and some of y'all are like, what? That I'm dead fucking serious. Absolutely. I have listened. I've had female friends for a while, and they will overlook not having a job. They will overlook like having baby mamas and kids. They will overlook not being very educated. If this motherfucker is 6 foot tall and has clear veins, I mean, I'm talking about veins in his arms, done deal. Open up. Found the clitoris all the way in. Cervix destroyed. Done. It doesn't matter. Right? So that's one thing. Being over 6 feet tall. There's another, I guess you could say, brand of woman who that really doesn't appeal to them as much. It helps. It adds to their overall attraction. But what ends up happening is that what gets the panties wet is intelligence. They're sapiosexuals. If a guy can teach them something and challenge them mentally, they're in it to win. It doesn't. They'll overlook a lot of shit if this guy is fucking intelligent, or at least gives off the impression he can be a sophist. And I've seen this before. Guys have kind of trained themselves to be sophists and appear a lot smarter than they really are just to get women. And if it's just sad, but it happens. But you think about like some of the things that I'm mentioning. D-Roy doesn't really have any of these, so I can understand his frustration with the female species, because it's like, well, shit, he can't win for nothing. He really can't. Poor guy. I almost feel sorry for him if he wasn't such a shitbag, but whatever. So, anyway.
Just want to talk to us. To worry about how our day is going. To worry about, you know what I'm saying? And where in the Bible, being I'm a Christian, does it say that it's wrong for a woman to butter up a man? Okay? Esther went after the king. She was advised to go after the king. Okay? Ruth went after Boaz. She didn't wait for Boaz to just notice her. Boaz noticed her.
Notice me, senpai.
After she wanted to take his kindness to the next level. Okay? And his kindness was very modest, might I add. It wasn't one thing on his mind. And that is getting laid. And a man will butter up women. You know why there's so many breakups between men and women today?
Uh-oh.
Because women allow men to come up to them and yakety, 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 until she ends up in bed with them. No marriage. No 2 weeks of dating. No,
So it's her fault.
I mean, there's nothing there but
It's her
the fact
fault.
that he's charming and he wants to have sex. And you're hoping, as a woman, there's something in it for you.
Yeah, penis.
Okay? And so he ends up in the bed, but what's the first thing you find out after a man has slept with you? You find
Got
out the
good
truth
dick?
about that man, don't you?
So here's what I don't like. And D-Roy, and I hate to keep stopping him, but this annoys me, right? If we need, yes, Vince. It takes two to fucking tango, man. It takes two to tango. If most women understand that if she is not going to, wait for this guy, to get to know him better, to sleep like that, and that's her fucking choice. Maybe that's all she wants. If she wants a relationship, then she may make him wait. She may make him not. That's completely on them. Folks taking control of their sexual proclivities. You can have a long-lasting relationship with somebody who puts out on the first date. You just got to be adults about it, right? As somebody who fucks on the first date, second date, you can make it work. And there's like making. So I've always found that funny of making him wait thing. That doesn't work for me because what that's going to end up doing is I'm just going to wait and then fuck you and then leave. So don't like that. Like, let's just be adults about the shit. I think people get too wrapped up in these puritanical ideas of how sex should work, and it ends up giving them the wrong impression because you can fuck around with the wrong guy and he's not going to be the one for that bullshit. Because I think that's bullshit. But that's me. If folks want to wait, that's on them. And it can be a safety issue. So people need that intimacy and not just the friction between bodies. So and that's understandable. That's understandable. If you need that connection, you need to be here with that person. I got it. From that perspective, I agree. But that's based on your particular sexual psychology. There you go. Let me just coin that term there. So, while all the crazy motherfuckers, YouTube midgets, that's a good question. That's a really, really good question. I think when guys like D-Roy say stuff like this, it's because of their insecurity. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. It comes down to insecurity. It's her fault. Well, because he's insecure. That's a common thread I find amongst these guys. You're fucking insecure. It's all the women's fault, can't get no poon. Me and my wife first date was Netflix and chill. There you go. And 15 kids later. Yes. No, trust me, there's a lot of Netflix and chilling. And actually, before that was even popular, that's exactly how my son was born, from Netflix and chill. Before we were doing it before it was cool. So yes, I can attest to that. Pull-out game is not that great with vodka. Pro tip, by the way. So
you find out the truth. The truth of a man is not in his mouth.
It's in his penis.
The truth of a man is in his endurance and his perseverance. How does he behave under pressure? I got a guy I work with who all he talks about is his involvement with women. All he talks about, his whole reason for working out is about women. His whole reason for playing football is about women. But I've seen him get mad at a woman and get ready to hit a woman over nothing.
It's probably steroids.
I've also seen him, with me, lose his temper and punch his fist over just about nothing because someone said, you can't do this or you can't do that. But this is a man that brags about all the women he gets. And I've seen women, how they act around him. The guy's eye candy. He walks in, the women just, he's coming. He's coming this way. He's coming. Look.
Someone seemed a little jealous.
And sometimes I feel like women reap what they sow when they get played. I'm the kind of guy, I'm not a ladies' man.
Obviously.
By personality and by looks, by height, by color of skin, you name it. I'm not a ladies' man. I'm just not. And I know a lot of my friends like to see if they can you know, they like to use me for comedy and put me in a situation with a woman, you know. I mean, I'm just not eye candy. I'm one of the top 10. I might be one of the top 5 or the top 4 or the top 3. I ain't no top 10, man. I'm not gonna be. You won't see my picture in a magazine on the men that women wish they could be with, okay?
Gonna be on a list of.
You'll see some a-hole in there who's got all
the guys
this
you need to run from.
The looks and the muscles and the, you know, the height and the money and everything.
All the stuff people like in
you know what I'm saying?
Man. Yeah.
Divorce after divorce after divorce after divorce after divorce. Why?
So I kind of resent that statement because of color. He and I are around the same complexion, and don't blame it on your complexion. Don't even try it. Don't even try. There's plenty of women who want this caramel. Let me just say. So don't even try that bullshit. This game is Atlas, by the way, ATLAS. So I'm glad, and this is the part that I was talking about, where he acknowledges that he doesn't have what it takes for women to accost him. He recognizes that. So then, why would he expect? Like this is what confuses me. He's basing what women do based on his personal experience, but he knows that women are averse to him. So it's interesting that he's trying to put this out there like he's given an accurate or an objective report on women's behaviors, when you know that you are in the lower rungs of attractiveness and women are more than likely to be averse to you than attracted to you. You're not even in that demographic of men who would be approached by women. So it's like, if you're going to generalize, at least couch it within, you know what, I know I'm not that attractive, but I've not, well, actually no, because now I think about it, he's actually talking about the women that he works with that are swooning over the big muscle head. So I'm kind of confused now. I'm kind of confused because he's kind of giving both scenarios, and this is kind of why my mind is just blown. I'm not really sure what to take away from this, because it almost seems like he contradicts himself. Almost. These are lower standards. Well, dead women can't consent, so, you know, there's an issue there.
Because of the fact that he is doing something that all women fall for. He sees a beautiful woman, he shows his confidence. I don't have that confidence. Maybe if I had that confidence, I'd be too busy doing something I shouldn't be doing instead of doing this video, if you know what I mean. Especially being I spent a lot of time in my life being a pornographer.
I'm so shocked.
Pornographer. Okay? But he's doing the one thing that women don't need. But they fall for it every time. He goes up to them. He makes them think that he can steal them away from all their depression and low self-esteem and Calgon, take me away.
That's an old reference.
And I explained this to my cousin, who she's a very beautiful girl. And I tell her, have you looked in the mirror? Why are you having so much trouble? Okay, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. The fat singing lady's not having this problem. Okay, she's just not. Okay, but look in the mirror and look at your whole from the hair to the toe, and ask yourself that question again. This is why you're having problems with men, because you're a beautiful girl, and there's different kinds of beauty. Just like the girl that I'm looking at right now, that I would love to.
Okay, all right, folks. Here's where it is. I couldn't remember what part. Hold on. he is going to describe in great detail the woman of his dreams, and I'm being a bit facetious, but a woman that has captured his eye. And oh my fucking god, his Asian fetish is sad but also hilarious at the same time. So, please believe that I want y'all to pay very special attention to what he's about to say. And I keep saying I'm gonna get up and get some coffee. I think I'm gonna get it right. I think so. I think I should actually slow it down and get some coffee because I want to enjoy it again. I want to enjoy him talking about this shit again. Because, woo! Boy, boy. Boy, boy. Boy, boy. Confidence is the key. Confidence. Sir Marvin, you missed it. You missed the discussion on Onision. You missed it. And my chat froze the fuck up. So I'm going to have to reload the app. Give me a second. Alright. If y'all were saying something, I didn't see it. Chat froze up. So. I knew I had a shirt somewhere. Oh, by the way, probably later on today. Yeah, I want to say it'll be later on today. Not sure what time, but I will make the watch link. So this came in the mail today. Yesterday. This came in the mail yesterday. Nice little bag. Says a gift for you. Oh shit, I just noticed there's a card here. Hi Alfred, enjoy your gift from Xavier. Aww. From good old Amazon, and it is the one chip challenge. So you will get to see that today. You will definitely get to see that sometime today. If you're not familiar with the one chip challenge, Shaq did it. Shaq did the one chip challenge, and it burned his asshole. Well, not literally, but yeah, actually, literally it did. So you will get to see that. We're gonna do it. Me and Xavier are gonna do it live. So, all right, get ready. I'm gonna go get some coffee while y'all listen.
To talk to her, she's not part of the top 10. She's just an average girl, plain Jane. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down, you know. She ain't got that hourglass shape. She's just a nice girl. And I love her. I just wish I'd love to talk to her, but I'm sure she's not a Christian, so I'm going to, put up the red flags right there. I'm almost, 98% sure that she's not a Christian. Okay? But she's very modest. In a way, she wears modest clothing. She pretty much keeps to herself and her family. I'd love to take her out on a date. I'd love to take her out to eat. You know, something. I'm just not a ladies' man. You know what I mean? Other guys have come up. Other guys have made her smile. When I talk to her, she's like, huh? You know, she's Asian, so when I try to talk to her, go, ooh, you know, like she don't speak English that well. She speak English that well for a guy to get her talking. I just don't have that gift. I know if I stick some of my friends on her, they'll have her talking all day. Okay? They know how to break the ice. They know how to get any girl talking. And when she can talk, she becomes more attracted because you were able to get her to talk and vent on you. And you're going to sit there and listen. You're going to pretend that you care, when all you care about is what you can get out of her. But because she's a woman, like catching a deer, when you're going to kill it and eat it, like catching a deer, you got to be patient because she's a woman. Just like a doe in the field. It's going to take you some hours to get that doe. Just one doe. It's going to take you. And most people to go hunting, if they get one doe, it ain't like fishing. You get one doe, you've been out there for 16 hours, you get one doe, that's enough. You hit the nail. You can go home and tell your wife and your kids and all your hunting friends that, wow, look what I did. It took you 16 hours to get it. Men are that way with women. They will go to job. They will go to work and lose their job. Okay? They will go to work and lose their job for talking to a woman and bothering her while she's doing her job because, why? They have a mission. They, as a man, there's something about being a man that tells me I have to be up in pretty girls' faces all the time. Because the man that doesn't constantly, if a man is not hunting down women, if a man is not a predator, he's a loser. And that is the idea, that is the locker room talk that I hear in the locker room as a man, that if I'm not hunting down the women, if I'm not a predator, then I'm a loser. You're either a predator or a loser. Okay? The most moral thing you could do is not go after another man's wife that you see every day. You see her husband every day. You don't want to go after his wife because her husband knows you, okay? That's the most moral thing that men have. But if a woman don't talk about her husband enough, men will hit on her as if she does not have one. She got a big old diamond on her finger. That's the only respect for her husband she got, is that diamond. But she don't talk about him. Now, I know a lot of men talk about their wives. When they're faithful to their wives, they talk about their wives a lot.
Not really.
Well, my wife, my fiance, constantly. A lot of these women that are receiving all this attention from men, I don't see that.
I ain't talking.
You don't get to hear about their husband until you ask them about their husband.
Here's a possibility, D-Roy. Maybe that they're just private people and they don't like talking about their family with people who they work with because they keep that separation. Not everybody tells their fucking business when they go to work, D-Roy. Not everybody's there to gossip. Not everybody's there to tell somebody their goddamn life story. Unlike you. If you were more focused on your actual job and less focused on trying to evangelize the people and trying to gossip about folk, which you got in trouble for in previous years, you figure that out. My wife does not talk about me at work. Why? Because it ain't their fucking business. You don't hear much about our life unless I'm joking about it. If there's something that's going bad in our relationship, y'all never know about it. If I dicked her down really good, y'all probably never know about it. Other than what we joke about from time to time. So, D-Roy, your whole perspective on what you expect from people is filtered through a few things. For one thing, you're an ugly motherfucker. And not too many people are going to go up and just talk to ugly motherfuckers. So, just saying. Second of all, it seems almost by your own admission that you kind of have a reputation at your job as being cantankerous and gossiping. So why would people feel inclined to talk about their personal life with you? And I'm pretty sure that follows from your other places of employment, given that your behavior seems at least consistent in that manner. So it's not a shock that you don't hear that from people. Yeah, me and some of the other married folks will talk about it because we understand that, you know what? Oh yeah, my spouse does this. Oh yeah, my spouse does that. It's just, if the conversation goes in that direction, then we'll talk about it. Some people refuse to talk about their kids at all at work. And I completely understand it. It ain't their damn business. Some people love talking about their kids. You see the kids run up and down wherever, office, store, whatever, and that's them. But it's just, you don't bring your kids around people who are questionable like you. So, I show up to work and I put my headphones and listen to Dragnet talk about dummies on YouTube. There you go. There you go. Diesel doing his job. He's listening to me. You know, he's telling other folks how he listens to a guy with his shirt off on YouTube, because that's always awkward to explain to people, especially when they walk in, they see my half naked ass here. They're like, what are you watching? What are you watching? Speaking of catching somebody with half naked stuff. Anyway, D-Roy, I love this, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Your perspective on what other expectations, the expectations that exist out there for people, being filtered through your really weird, like maladjusted, just miscreant filter that you develop for a while over time. It just baffles me. Okay, Candace, ammo box. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Oh, I'll talk to you in game, Vince. There's something we need. But it is really, really fascinating. Your perspective, that is. It's fascinating to me, because if I sat and I thought about it, well, what my expectations for women's? What should I expect from women's? Well, there's probably I'll say a few, 4 or 5 different, you could say, archetypes of women. There's 4 or 5 different types of women. So my expectations would be based on those, and I'm probably not even capturing all of the different permutations, major ones at least, of how women behave. And I would have to sit back and really consider that. But I don't think that, like, your world is very black and white. There's the way that people act based on your really limited understanding of human behavior and education, and then there's just there's meh. They're the aberrants, right? They're the normal depictions from what you think people are supposed to behave like, and then there are aberrations. And you get confused. You get confused and baffled and miffed when there's all these different forms of aberrations that exist. They're so strange. That's because you don't fucking understand people. That may contribute to why you have so many issues with them. It's just, who the fuck knows, right? Especially when you tell women the sexiest thing a woman can do is essentially acquiesce to whatever it is that you're saying. And yes, that's one of that, and I'm giving you more credit by articulating that point a bit better than you did. But essentially, when you tell, that's so demeaning. That's so incredibly demeaning to women overall. Even if they are just a sub, like they just have that sub mentality. Even if they are for traditional gender roles, the sexiest thing that they can do is just agree with you. Well, shit, let me just throw away the lingerie. Let me stop watching the twerk videos. Let me stop taking the pole dancing lessons. God damn it. That's what gets his dick hard is me being under his heel. Well, all right. What kind of shit is that, little man? That doesn't get my dick hard. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. That doesn't do it for me. Dropping it like it's hot, that does it. That's in heels too, for some reason. Like those especially like those wedge heels. I don't know what it like. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I don't know what it's a piece of fabric. It's an inanimate object. I don't get it. But anyway, I'm gonna play some more of this. I'm gonna get my fucking coffee because it should be made. Thank you, Keurig. Thank you, in-laws, for doing something good for once. I'm just kidding. They've done more than that for me.
Okay. Us men, we know to ask a man about his wife, because the minute he starts talking about another woman, first thing out of our mouth is, "How's your wife? You got any pictures? Let me see some pictures, because I'm trying to figure out how ugly is your wife that you need to be talking to all these other women." And I know a lot of men that are my age and up. I'm not all that young. You know, I expect to be married. If I ever get married again, I'm pretty sure my wife will have lots of wrinkles. At least as many wrinkles as I got, if not more. Okay? Many men that are my age and up think it's okay to talk to young girls and to butter them up and show the young boys how it's done. You know, show the young boys, you know, whether that's midlife crisis or whatever that is. I never had it yet. I don't have it. Maybe I'll get it in another 10 years or less. I don't know. I don't have it. I don't have it. But I know a lot of my friends do have it. They just can't leave women alone. They've lost their jobs. Thank God it was their second job. They lost jobs over women because they don't know how to shut their mouths and go do their job and leave people alone. But women, now let's flip it and get to the point of the video. But women don't have to go after men and talk to men. My problem with women talking to me, and there's plenty of women to do that. My problem with women talking to me,
okay,
is that they're always overconfident women, for one.
They're always overconfident.
They're women that are bad. They're bad women. They're bad girls.
How?
They're women that have some devious ways about themselves.
They sucking dick
and
on the side? Like, what's going on?
It's very easy.
And they're easy.
To just walk up to a guy and say, "Hey, you're handsome. You look good. I love the way, you know, I like, you know," and tell him 100 things that she likes about him.
That's a problem?
Okay, I know.
Are you
women,
stupid?
And I've met these women that have done it, and they don't only do it to me, but they do it to other men too. But
hold on, wait, whoa. So these women, there's a problem with these women. There's a problem with them, right? There's an issue going on here. Hold on to your vagina. They're overconfident women. I don't know about guys out there in the chats. I don't know about y'all. I love a confident woman. Good. Show me how confident you are. Throw that ass back. Good. Cool. What do you want? A woman who's not confident, who's always second guessing herself, who's not really sure? Like, that's no. I don't like. Sure, it happens. Like, people go through bouts of that. But why wouldn't you want a so being overconfident? And so the overconfidence comes in the form or the behavior of women being willing to, I use the word accost, but that's not the right word. Women being able to initiate a discourse with a man in order to seek out some form of companionship, whether strictly sexual or even platonic. Is that it? Do I have that right? Because the woman initiates. That's her overconfidence. She feels good. Women in their wily ways and whatnot and everything and whatnot. She's overconfident. That takes all the fucking issue out of me having the anxiety to do it my damn self. If she comes up to me, I'm halfway in. Literally, I'm halfway in. All I gotta do is go, good, meet me out back. And that's it. It's a done deal. They're easy. I guess that's what it is. They supposed to play coy? Is this the 1930s? Are we 1940s? Like, what's going on here? What's going on? I feel like this is some weird scene from the Glass Menagerie or some shit. Like, I don't, like, what kind of, I think there's just, you're stuck in this archaic idea of how courtship should work. This is 2019 going on 2020. Women ain't about that bullshit. They like things, and they know how to get things. And they know how to get things. Okay? You should be happy. Here's what I don't get. Let me talk to y'all. Let me spin y'all a yarn now that I got my coffee. Here's what I've never understood about other guys. Because, and this is so, let's have some locker room talk. And you know what? Let's upgrade it. This is field talk. This is Army field talk. When you have guys in the field, manly men, not guys who pretended to play military and they sat in the green zone, right? Whatever, right? I'm talking about folks, and I'm being facetious. I'm talking about folks who've just been in the field at any point in time, whether it's training, whether it's actual being in theater. There's some raunchy ass conversation that goes on. Some really raunchy conversations like, what would it look like if I fucked this guy's wife? Like that kind of stuff that goes on. Within those conversations, there is always, they're ever present, even from a young age, even from being teenagers in the locker room, that bit of anxiety of how to approach women, how to seal that deal. And I've never understood from guys this inclination just to paint women as whores, but then complain about them not putting out. It's y'all don't understand. Y'all not hearing me. I've never understood that about guys who do that kind of shit. Because if you create that area, if you create that environment, or that stigma of, this is she just a slut, she's just putting out, but you want women to put out, other women are going to hear and see that, and they're not going to want that stigma. So why the fuck would you do that? You're hurting your own cause. You want to encourage them to do that, so they will put out, and so they'll feel good about fucking doing it. Now, of course, we need to be playing safe with all this kind of stuff, obviously. But it doesn't make sense. You're hurting your own cause. I don't get it. But D-Roy here is in a different category. He's not going to be amongst those group of guys who's going to be accosted. You know, hey, I see that you have some muscles and some height and some penis. I could use all of those at the same time on top of me. A woman's not going to be coming up to him in that manner at all. So I get that that's not something he looks for. But for those of us who don't look like a treasure troll, that's an ideal scenario. And I don't appreciate guys like this encouraging women to be less confident. No, if you want that, go live your whole life. Go live your best life. Do it. Be who you're going to be. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. But I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Man, I love being a turtle. See, y'all didn't expect that. Was spilled coffee on myself. I got a hole in my lip, evidently. So, never really understood that. But I think it's just D-Roy has his own proclivities, right? We'll say that. He has his own thing going on. He has his own conception of courtship. I think they're antiquated, but I think he needs to temper his expectations for other people based on the fact that he exists, admittedly, in a realm where he is not receiving that type of attention from women. When I say that type of attention, being accosted for his member. So I'm just being real. Like, it is what it is. I'm not saying I'm out here big dick swinging at anybody. Do I get accosted? Yes. But it's very rare. But even so, I don't want to put that stigma on a woman to put somebody else at a disadvantage, you know? Speaking of which, that person that I'm thinking of, I've not seen them at the university. I guess they graduated.
Women do it to less men than men do it to women. But, you know, it's good if both men and women know how to give of themselves.
Give.
To strangers.
Give.
Whether it be a person of the opposite sex, somebody's grandmama, or somebody's kid, or the blind man or woman trying to get across the street. Give of yourself to other people. That's called ministry in the church. That's called ministry. Giving of yourselves to other people that actually need it. Everything is not supposed to be in this country about your libido, male or female. It ain't supposed to be about your libido. It's supposed to be about your ministry, your love for the nature of God and the nature of the world that God has created. Because it needs to be circulated, it needs to be regulated.
The being accosted by
Okay?
Xavier counts.
It really does. Here's another prime example. I don't know
That's
where
funny.
this fits, but are women honest even among other women? It's wrong for black women to, and I'm just throwing this in there because this was part of the reason why I did this video. I'm throwing that in there before I forget. It'll tie up with something later. I might have to do a part 2. But black women, it's wrong for black women to be honest about the beauty of white women. I've never seen a black woman say that a white woman was pretty, or that she liked the way she
I don't
looked
imagine
in a
too
dress,
many black
or
women
she
hang out
liked her
around you.
shoes, or she liked her purse, or whatever. Unless they were close friends and they started copying off of each other, okay, or something of that nature. But to give of themselves and help other women, you know, out of due respect and due process, let other women know. Now, people do it to black women, and black women suck it all up. Okay?
Expert on black
you get a
women
white
here.
person or a person of another race, especially a white person. There's something about white people. This is another video. There's something about white people and black people that just won't go away, especially on the black side, if you know what I mean. It's just
On the black
something
side.
that won't go away. But, you know, I've seen...
Stop putting
you know,
raisins and potato
a
salad.
white
We'll be
person say
good.
something good to a black woman. It's not like, oh, wow. Oh, thank you so much. It's like, noted, yeah. Yeah, well, thank you for being honest. Thank you for saying that. You know, it's just very arrogant. It's not really accepted. The woman didn't have to be honest and say that she found anything attractive about you, or that she admired anything beautiful about you. Okay? But, you know, it's wrong for a black woman to do the same to a white woman and say, hey, I really, really, really love the way your makeup looks, or I really love your skin complexion. You know, like, all white women don't have the same skin complexion, right? Some white women are just
Really
Caucasian, and some are like really creamy white. You can't hate them for that. You can't hate good. You can't. There's fair skin in every race. It's not just fair skin means a woman that's lightly tanned by birth. She's lightly tanned genetically. She's lightly tanned.
She's
That's
swarthy.
what fair skin is. But fair skin is also pitch black. Fair skin is also completely white like paper. Okay? I mean, it just is. Okay? Fair skin is in every race. I know Spanish people, I know Indian people, okay, that have fair skin, and some don't. Okay? I mean, there's you know, and I'm a man, okay? And when it comes to women, I notice everything. Everything from eyes and hair to hands and feet. You know what I'm saying? I notice everything about a woman.
Everything.
But today,
especially the breastises.
I might do a part 2.
You will do a part 2.
Today, I was watching a ukulele video. And there was this... I don't know if she was Indian or Asian. She looked like she could have been a mixture of both. She looked like she could have been Indonesian.
Hint, Indians are Asian.
Her
But we
accent
know what he's talking about. He's talking East
sounded
Asian.
like kind of Spanish. And she had the camera. She was doing a ukulele video, and I'm watching ukulele reviews. Okay?
I know. He has a white girl
She had the
fetish.
camera
I don't
on the
blame him.
floor.
I don't blame him. Some
She's
of them are
sitting on the
bad.
floor Indian style wearing tight jeans.
My last girlfriend was white. Short, chubby,
And
insecure. Just like
I'm
I
a
like
man.
her.
I'm not a woman. Okay? She had very, very lovely thighs,
Yes.
legs.
She was a pog, as they call
And
them.
I'm trying to concentrate on the video. Also,
She was a
she had on
pog.
one of them shirts that have all that room in it.
Them shirts that had a room.
Now she could have had, you know what I'm saying? But as she's moving, it appears that something's bouncing in there.
They're called titties. Titties are bouncing in there.
Now I'm sorry. Let me let you ladies understand something. If you think
oh my God,
that men just come up to you and talk to you at work every day because they're nice men and they just, you know what I'm saying? You're either lying or you're naive.
I don't really know a woman over the age of 20 that thinks
those that are talking to you, including myself, or you're very naive. Now, a lot of women are naive, but a lot of y'all know, and y'all just love the attention. Y'all get up in the morning. Let's be honest, ladies. Y'all get up in the morning and get dressed for the attention, even in clothes.
Here's what I'm because he has gotten on women before for wearing tight stuff, like actual tights, like tight yoga pants. That's what I'm thinking of. Yoga pants. He made a whole video talking about yoga pants, and so now when there is a woman who's doing a ukulele video and she has on like a baggy shirt, probably her man's shirt, whatever. I don't know why y'all women like that, but you know what? Her titties. Let's say her titties were bouncing around in there. Okay. You know what you need to do if you feel in a certain type of way, Mr. Former Pornographer? Watch another damn video. I'll tell you what, if there's titties bouncing around in there and I can't really see them, and I see them every, 2 or 3 minutes, then those aren't productive titties to me. I need to go find some productive titties. But if she's making a video and she knows what's going to get views, then she's going to do what's going to get her more views, right? I don't like you complaining when she has assets and the skill and she's putting them to use the way that she wants to, then that's not for you. If you feel that you're going to be tempted and all this other bullshit, then don't watch the goddamn video. She'd have been wrong if the shirt was too tight. So now it's too loose. It's too baggy. Like, you got a fucking complaint for every goddamn thing a woman does. She's not talking enough. She's talking too much. It's always something with you. Always fucking something. I see. It's going to be me. I see why you're not married anymore. I really do.
I stole $3,000.
Who stole $3,000? Angry Rose says, shout out to all those bouncing titties. Exactly. I see why you're not married anymore. There's nothing a woman can do right. This is nothing. I from just listening to you for the last few months, I get that. Because you're upset about this, you're upset about the opposite thing, you're upset about shit in the middle, you just all over the place, you're just mad, you're just upset. It's insecure. Everything's a problem. Everything everybody else does is a fucking problem. Maybe it's you. Just possibly it's you. Right? You think he still talks about the stuff, release some of the repressed sexual urges? Yeah, I think so. No, actually I know so. So, and Drag, how do you know that? You're not fucking psychic. Doing these videos, or just doing YouTube videos overall, is cathartic. It really is. There's shit that I want to say, and I've seen that for some strange reason people want to hear my opinion on stuff, so I started doing it. But a lot of the videos that I do are cathartic for me. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they're not. So it's more than likely something that he uses as a catharsis. I absolutely think that is the case. So it doesn't surprise me. None of it really surprises me. Just to be honest with you.
I stole $3,000.
Who stole $3,000? Who did it? Who's stealing? I gotta stop my ship here for a second because I can't remember what grid. Leroy wants, he wants that Asian chick that he works with. I'm sorry, Wilson says Asians catch D-Roy's eye, not the lazy one. I think they catch the lazy one too. I think they catch that one too. He like, I thought I had an Asian fetish. No. No, at least I try to keep mine somewhat under wraps. I don't do a very good job, but I at least try. But man, he is just like out there with it. I'd be scared if I was that Asian lady. I don't. I just can we get her like a name? Because just calling her Asian lady just seems like demeaning. I don't. Oh well, who's it? Who is it? That is black girl. Okay, that's Asian lady. Like just could we give her a pseudonym? I want to call her like it. Well, then again, like any name that I'm going to give her would just definitely come off as overtly racist. So I'm just gonna call her AF. So we're going to refer to her as AF for Asian fetish. So it's really interesting to hear D-Roy's, I don't know, the apple of D-Roy's eye. It's funny though, because he acknowledged that, or at least he surmises that she isn't Christian. So that's also very interesting to me. So he's willing to,
I stole $3,000.
I guess, make a sacrifice. I don't know, or maybe he thinks that, because I want to give him some credit. Maybe he thinks that he can convert her. Like maybe that's the thing. I'm not sure. I really don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility at all for him to think that. Given his general sort of appearance, given his fake fucking title of life application officer, it would not be, outside of the realm of possibility that he thinks that he can. But I would love for him to have some tales of that, because he's going to fail. Angry Road says, take your shirt off and shake titties drag. You can go fuck yourself. So, anyway.
It's like when you go outside to get the mail.
Get the mail.
Sometimes I've seen women take off long pants and put on shorts to go answer the door.
Maybe it's hot. Maybe
I had a lady at a job I had many moons ago. I had a lady invite me over her house.
Here we go.
Her son was trying to figure out what was going on. She left work. She had on regular blue jeans and a regular t-shirt. Okay? Belt and everything, sneakers, everything. I understood that, okay, when we get to your house, you're inviting me over because your son's fixing my computer, okay? And I'm going to sit there and wait instead of just coming and picking the computer up, which I ended up leaving and coming and pick the computer up anyway. The showroom was just totally unnecessary, but she goes home and she says, I want to get comfortable. And not only did she go in and put on what looked like lingerie to me right in front of her own son. Her son's like getting ready to go to college, okay? Not only did she go, and her son looked at her like, what are you doing? Not only did she go in the room and put on what looked like lingerie to me, but she also acted different to go with that lingerie. And she sat on the couch, Indian style. And I tried to turn my back to her, but she kept going in the conversation to get me to turn around and look at her. Until I finally got up and left and said, hey, look, you know what? Take your time, son. Like, I'm coming back. I can stop back tomorrow. Call me when you get done. And then it turned out that he broke my computer. When I got home, I had to actually take it to Best Buy. Okay, this might have been back when Best Buy first came out. But I had to take it to Best Buy and have them fix it right because he messed it up. Okay.
So he's talked about this story before. For those of you who are new, he has referenced this story before. This part of the story is new. He vaguely referenced something that went on, but he didn't actually go into detail. So from what it sounds like one of those scenarios that I was just joking with Converse Contender about, where, you're going over to the customer's house and they want you to offer something a little bit more than excellent customer service. So it happens, right? It happens. And if D-Roy, if you're uncomfortable with that, then that's, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to replace all these sales. Then you are well within your right to feel uncomfortable by that. I'm not, because I'd be a hypocrite to say that, you know what, if the sexes were reversed, you know, would that be acceptable? No, it wouldn't be. You know, if you feel that person is making advances towards you that are unwanted, you are well within your right to feel that. On the other hand, the other part of me thinks that you're just a bitch. Honestly, so I wanted to get that out of the way. I want to say you are well within your right, absolutely, to say this makes me uncomfortable. Your son's here. You know what? Not the right time. I'm not that type of dude. You know what? And that's you. But the other side of me is like, man, you could have told Junior to take a hike and bang the dog shit out of her and got your computer fixed for free. So you could have had him install some $30, $40 software for free, depending on how good of a job you do. But that you know what? I'm thinking ahead. I try to be ahead of the game. That's just me. I try to collect when I'm doing stuff. So, man, D-Roy, that's not something I'd ever tell anybody, unless the chick was really old or like you know that she has you're positive that she's positive, something like that, you know. But it's a game, you uncultured swine. Yeah. So Algeria, I'm talking about D-Roy Cruz, Life Application Officer. You might be new here. Hang around for a bit, but. D-Roy, my God, man. My God. It is absolutely crazy. Like, this is amazing to me. Because you wouldn't have this type of scenario for, let's say, infantrymen. Just to give you guys, for those of you who've never been around military at all, and you don't know just how I guess rugged some of these guys can be. I was privy to a scenario, and you're gonna ask, well, Drag, how do you know that this actually happened? I will tell you afterwards. I was privy to a scenario where there was an issue where two of the sergeants that I worked under, I'll call them Sergeant Evans and Sergeant Wilford. So Sergeant Evans and Sergeant Wilford lived in the town outside of the base. It's about a 30-minute drive, whatever. Their neighbor backed into their vehicle, very minor fender bender, nothing too crazy, not a lot of damage, but California and car insurance, yeah. If you've never had a car in California, even a half decent car, and have seen the rates for insurance, it might make you think twice. So this person knew that she had fucked up, and so she she was propositioned by Sergeant Wilford and Evans that if she would fuck both of them, that they would make it go away. Both of them. They're roommates. So they then proceeded to fuck this Mexican chick that backed into their car in exchange for not reporting the incident and just getting it fixed. And so, Drag, how do you know that both of these guys had sex with this chick at the same time? They took video. And if you don't know what Eiffel Tower is, go on Urban Dictionary and type in Eiffel Tower, and they Eiffel Towered this chick. So, just be aware, you can turn lemons into lemonade, or you can turn lemons into goddamn lemon meringue pie, based on how fucking clever you are, and based on just how fucking confident you can be. But my God, those guys did it. Wouldn't have been me. wouldn't have been me. I wouldn't have done that. We could have worked out something that would have definitely resulted in her paying for the goddamn damages, but not messing up her insurance. But yeah, raw dogging this chick with the buddy. Like I still have battle buddies that I would still lay down my life for, but probably not raw dogging chicks just to pay off a debt like that. No, I'm sorry. So that's kind of what I have in comparison here. And it's probably not fair to D-Roy because I don't think he's about that life. I don't think something like that would ever really appeal to him, but also it would never really come his way. This one chick who was honestly that desperate to want him, he should have jumped on the opportunity, quite literally. But, to each his own.
But all that to see something that I don't know. Okay, and here's a woman who had a horrible divorce from her husband, and she feels scarred from her husband, the divorce and all. And I'm thinking, what did you do to get a divorce? Like, there's some things that are very feminist and very dishonest about you. What? Why would you wait till I come over your house? I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not trying to date you. I'm just a friend.
Because she wants dick.
You wanted me. You wanted... Let's get... Stop. Let's get real. You wanted me to see a side of you that I wasn't seeing at work.
Oh, God, no.
That's the most modest way I can put it.
Oh, no.
You wanted me to see a side of you
God
that
damn.
I wasn't seeing at work. Or you wanted me to see a side of you that would make me feel more comfortable around you. And your way of doing that was to take more clothes off. When nobody asked anybody out, nobody's going out on a date, nobody had any talk about sex, nobody had any talk about spending the night, doing anything freaky. You know what I mean? I'm not a clothes retailer. I didn't ask you to go in the room and put on what look like panties. Okay.
I didn't ask for all this booty.
Long,
stop throwing it at me.
Panties or something.
Stop it.
See-through panties or whatever, and put that on in front of your son, so me and your son could sit there and judge and see if you're capable of doing modeling for lingerie. Okay.
Look, come on. Look. That's not the first time. I'm pretty sure it's not the first time he has seen his mother in the buff in one form or another. But like, come on. I'm sorry. I just my mother had this gray nightgown looking thing that she would wear with no bra, and I mean them things just swinging everywhere. I'm like, come on, mama, really? And says, what? Shit. Nursed your ass. She's just going to a rant. So, I mean, it's not, that whatever, right? You've seen your mother at some point in your time, in your life, if you spend any time around her, outside of just wearing full dress, you'll be okay. No, I don't eat tapioca. It's disgusting. What's going on? Oh, yeah. Everyone say hi to Scientist Sam. He is visiting his homeland in Israel. He is scolding Netanyahu. We got fucking crazy ass names. Netanyahu, Ryu, Net and Kettle and Rayu for bribery and corruption and a whole bunch of other shit. Who would figure that he'd be shifty? Anyway, he actually thinks he's talking to her. D-Roy does not communicate well. And it's interesting that, to me, because I get the distinct feeling that he does not communicate any of this stuff that he says here to the people, like to the actual targets of his ire. It doesn't strike me as though that he does that. It may have been an issue with him communicating overall. Who knows? It's not just you wearing a short that bothers him. It's anyone taking off their clothes. Yeah, I guess maybe he just can't get over his attraction towards certain things. I don't know. I'm getting my character naked too. So, I just like I said, I still stick by, if he did not want to engage in a uh, sexual relationship with this woman, and he wanted just to be platonic, he's well within his right to desire that. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but from her behavior, one could surmise that she was definitely after the penis, which I think, again, sure, if she's a divorcee and, you know, she's not had any in a while, there's an opportunity. She's really fucking desperate. You know what? You know, just I don't know what to tell him. It's like, sorry, bud, you've kind of struck out in most other areas, so you could probably get what kind of comes across to you. You know, beggars can't be choosers, so you don't want to be a pornographer, but woman's throwing ass at you. You could. So here's where I want to go with this. Here's where I want to go. I'm trying to interact with y'all and steer this fucking ship and think at the same time. And I only have like 6.5 brain cells, so you have to work with me. What does D-Roy claim to be? No, he's not popular on YouTube. What does D-Roy claim to be? What is the title that he gives himself? Everybody here who has watched me for watched me do more than 2 videos on him knows that this guy claims to be a life application officer. That is a really cool base. Y'all see that? See the lighthouse over there? It's pretty cool. He claims to have the ability to guide and mentor folks into what he sees as the correct way to live life. The correct way to go about engaging in what we call adulting and that sort of thing. In that realm. This is his claim to fame, his self-professed profession. So you're telling me that the life application officer could not communicate to this woman that, hey, what's going on, Neil? It seems you're getting pretty comfortable over there. He's like, hey, you know what? While your son works on our computer, my computer over here, how about me and you take a walk down the street? I need to get out and stretch my legs. Let's take a walk. And most adults know how, well, if you don't have Asperger's, most adults know how to pick up on, we need to talk privately. And so go and put on some shorts and a t-shirt, something that she can go walk outside away from his ears so he don't have to hear it, the son, that is. And then you can go, I see you getting pretty comfortable over there, and I can't help but to get the feeling that there may be some attraction, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misreading signals, but I didn't want it to be awkward with your son there just in case. There's nothing about that that's disrespectful. There's nothing about that that's demeaning or derogatory. It's a very tactful way to address what seems to be an uncomfortable situation, rather than just absconding from the whole thing and just fucking leaving, right? Abruptly, because you're uncomfortable. How about using some of those life applicating fucking skills that you claim to have in order to solve the situation, in order to find a resolution? Because if this woman is backsliding, if she's a divorcee, you know that she's having certain issues emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, why don't you use those fucking skills to help her in the direction that you think that she needs to go into? Because now that just seems like a wasted opportunity. In my view, it seems like a really wasted opportunity for someone who claims to have this goddamn skill. Then that's why I called bullshit on it way back then. This is yet another example, D-Roy, because I know you still watch me. This is another example of your failure as a person. Another example of a failure as a life application officer. This is why I don't listen to fuckheads like you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. There's a reason there's only 3 or 4 people on this interweb that I will ever actually take life advice from. Because half of you motherfuckers out there don't know what the hell you're talking about. And this is a perfect example. There was nothing preventing you from turning that situation into something that's advantageous for you both. You know what? She might be able to make a good wife. You never know. You have no idea. You know what? Maybe she's, you know what? I was wrong for that. Coming on too strong. I've had a man a while. I'm sorry. Well, you know what? Here, let me take you out. When your son gets done, let's just kind of talk about it, and read some Bible verses, whatever Christians talk about when when they're not fucking, whatever. Right? There's so many things that you can do, so many avenues you could have taken to kind of get her into the direction that you felt she needed to go in, but you didn't do that. So, just like with the scenario, donating money in the middle of a rant. Fuck you. Who's that? Angry Rose said the thing is D-Roy can't handle the Virginia. I'm surprised he found it twice and produced kids. But it's always interesting to me when D-Roy is presented with these scenarios, he almost always fails in his supposed goal. But then he wants to tell other folks, well, it's like me. Well, I should do with my goddamn life. No. Drag, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Look, I understand what Project Pat said, but I promise you, if you are skilled enough, yes, you can. Ask me how I know. Anyway, the scenario that I'm referencing, folks, the other scenario that's similar to this, not sexually, but just in D-Roy's goal of becoming a life application officer, is the one where he talked about his young associate, his understudy, his subordinate at his job. Supposedly the kid's coming in late, guy's attitude, just young kid shit. And I say young kid, early 20s, maybe let's say early to mid 20s, somewhere around there. Still trying to figure out his own personality still and come into maturity and understand what it is to be professional. That sort of thing we've all gone through. Dale, absolutely, But he failed that guy. He failed him. Rather than taking that scenario and trying to coach him properly, he failed that kid. Because it's easier just to cast people aside when they get an attitude with you. It's harder to de-escalate a situation, understand and empathize where somebody's coming from, and to try and find a resolution together. That's difficult. It's easy to castigate folks. It's easy to draw your ire towards someone and criticize them and denigrate them. Trust me, I know. It's real fucking easy to do that. I do it especially well. It's harder to do the former. And I think that's where D-Roy fails as a person. There's a difference from being able to use tact to try and reach someone, to try and get down to the level that they're at, being that they're not in just completely in the gutter, but get down to the level that they're at, meet them halfway or at some point, cede some ground just to get where you need to be to bring them to where they want to go. And if the direction that they're trying to go in isn't the most efficacious way to get to whatever short-term and long-term goal there is, then you can find out how they're rationalizing things. And it applies in both scenarios. If she's just like, you know what, I need something inside me to make me feel better, and you know what, just getting her cervix destroyed is how she's going to feel better, then if she's a Christian woman, there's different ways that you can go about doing that. And I'm pretty sure that it talks about that in the Bible. But for the young man, there are things that you can do to help remediate his professionalism. There's different things. There's stuff that folks just aren't taught. And as my mother's been in human resources for well over 30 years, and so she was almost shocked as to how people were not teaching their kids on how to dress for, an interview, or how to speak, or, some cases how to code switch. That's important. But Those sort of things not everybody has. But as a life application officer, you would think that he would have the ability to recognize that. And I think that he does a great disservice to people while wanting to claim that fucking title. What's Neil saying? Neil, got to get you on my show, man. DM me on Twitter. Yeah, man. I will. Somebody remind me to hit Neil up. Somebody remind me to hit Neil up. Because yes, I will definitely come on. And I think your show is about people who have deconverted, people telling the deconversion stories. So that's actually one of my funnier stories. I have videos on it, but I think that I have some new folks who are following me on the tweeters and on here that have never heard me talk about my deconversion. So definitely, sir, definitely. What's Converse Contender saying? I guess I missed it. I'm trying to find. Guess it didn't go through. So tell me I'm wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah. That's my issue. My major issue with D-Roy. He likes to wear titles, and that kind of does annoy me. If you haven't picked up on it, people trying to wear titles that they have not earned kind of annoys me. Because it's easy to say, oh, it's just like Stolen Valor. Honestly, it's not up there with that, but it's similar to that. It's similar to Stolen Valor. Let me give you I guess a metric on kind of my level of annoyance. Stolen Valor, kind of way up there. I don't go through the links that other veterans do, where they're going to whoop somebody's ass for doing it. But it's just like, you're just a piece of shit. I don't want anything to do with you. It's way up there. Lower on that scale is what D-Roy and certain young earth creationists and even certain atheists do. And that is trying to pretend to have a role such as a teacher or a scholar. This is for atheists and agnostics. They become sophists. And so they want to have this air about them as though, well, me not believing in something somehow enables me just to denigrate other people who disagree with me. And so everyone who doesn't agree with me on like this point and that point obviously are a couple of IQ points or a degree of magnitude difference in IQ between us, which is absolutely not fucking true in any sense. But with D-Roy, his pretend title of life application officer and the insistence that I acquiesce to the stupid shit that he says, because some of y'all missed that. Actually, I need to update that playlist so some of y'all can see me reviewing those videos. Him insisting that I live my life the way that he lives his, because he doesn't like the fact that I curse. One of his cousins goes to college too, and that's always a sticking point for people. Dragonaut's going to college. He thinks he's better than... No, the fact that I go to college does not make me better than you at all. I'm not sure why people get that idea, but probably because I make too many jokes about it. But no, the fact that I curse has literally nothing to do with anything at all. I can choose not to. I don't curse as much when I'm at school at all. Yes, I'm talking about people like McCrae, absolutely. But it's other people. It's people that come before him too. There's lots of folks. There's tons and tons of atheists. These Christians are fucking stupid. And then you start asking them about... Oh, perfect example. I've seen people denigrate G-Man and how much he doesn't know about biology, specifically like evolution. And then I've listened to some of those same people fuck up basic stuff in evolution. So, like, I've actually witnessed that. And it's like, you know exactly how much G-Man knows. If we're going to quantify your knowledge, you're on his level. The fact that you came to the right conclusion wasn't a consequence of your knowledge. It's the fact that you just agree with the preponderance of evidence. You agree with certain figureheads, in the science community. That's it. It's not that you actually comprehend this shit better than him. Not by no means. So there's a lack of thinking. There's just a lack of, let's say, critical thinking. There's a lack of critical thinking. Yeah, I no. Sam the Scientist introduced me to Jason Blaha, and yeah, he does do Stolen Valor. And if I catch him in the street, I'm gonna hit him in his ankles because that's where he's weak at. Fucking chicken legs. Me and him gonna talk. Let me catch Jason Blaha at Kroger's here in Houston. Let me catch him at a HEB. Let me catch him at a rodeo. I'm fucking him up. You do that shit. Actually, me and every other veteran's gonna fuck him up, but still. So Drax talking shit. No, we will fuck him up. No, he actually will get fucked up. I'm not. That's not even a joke. That's they don't play that shit here in Texas. that is actually not a joke. He will get fucked up here in Texas. Veterans here do not play with that kind of shit at all. And guess what? You think the police care too? They don't like that shit either. So, anyway, if you could tell, I don't really care for Jason Blaha, and that's just again that's up there with me. If you want to claim the title, go put on a uniform, go do something. Don't sit on the internet and pretend. Anyway, evolution is not biology. Yeah, all that shit. So let me play some more D-Roy because I've listened to this whole video. It doesn't get much better, but I've not listened to part 2. But I'm scared to play it. Actually, let me check the time because I think the missus is supposed to be coming home soon. Yeah, so probably after I play this video, I'm gonna go off air and look at some Asian titties or something. But I'm gonna see when Xavier wants to do our one chip challenge. So we'll go live and do that for y'all. And I'll probably put it on Patreon afterwards. I'll do it live and then put it on Patreon for folks later. So that'll be where that goes. But anyway, D-Roy, please regale us.
These are things that women do every day.
These women's.
Things that women do every day. And I mean, I go, when I go to work, okay, there's women who wear their clothes a certain way. One part of my job, and I'm going to have to do a part 2, I got, this is just the opening up. I'm going to get into some seriousness in a bit, but just the other day at my job, there was a college student who worked in the research area. And, I always talk to the guys. I always got something to say about Asian women because I just think Asian women are just super pretty. I just think I've never seen an Asian woman that I could just stop looking at. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Young, old, I just think Asian women are just beautiful. And I guess, and I started to feel this way after I got older. Back when I was a kid, it was just, black chicks and...
D-Roy, I understand. After I started watching videos of Hitomi Tanaka, I felt that way too for quite some time, man. Those Japanese adult video models, those JAV models, man, let me tell you, I'm right there too. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the fact that you used to be a pornographer. That probably plays a huge role in that.
Black chicks when I was a kid, and then I kind of I don't know if I grew out of black chicks after I got divorced or
grew out of them,
or what happened, but it started off with black chicks and white chicks, and then it boiled down to white chicks, and then over the last 10 years or so, I have been focusing my attention on foreign women. And since I moved back here to Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh is full of immigrants, and since I moved back here to Pittsburgh, I've had my eyes on a lot of foreign women, and I don't, but don't get me wrong, I'm working right in the heart of University of Pittsburgh. As a matter of fact, I used to work for University of Pittsburgh. Some of these kids, they know who I am. It's hard for me not to look. It's hard for me. We were taught in Bible training. We studied that book called Man in the Mirror, and we were taught to bounce our eyes around women, okay? And I found out that you actually get more respect from women when you bounce your eyes. instead of looking at a woman like, hey, baby, yeah, I'm looking at you. You shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I like what I see. You know what I mean? Because women think that they can read your mind when you look them right in the eye.
Okay, so
And if I
so let me slight correction here. Here's me speaking for women. Women think that you can read their mind. No, I have to correct you. Women think that they can read your mind. Or excuse me, women think that you can read their mind. There we go. I don't know why, but I've been married for a few years, and I don't know why my wife thinks that I can read her mind. And I have to constantly remind her that no, she has to verbalize things because I cannot read your mind, dear. So that is something that I have said I don't know how many times in our marriage, well over 100. Well, I think I've said it one day 20 times. I cannot read your mind. So now but the staring thing is interesting. The staring thing is very interesting because I know women that are creeped out when guys just eye fuck them, and because most women know, like, you know what, and this is my impression. So this is me trying to speak for women. Most women that get a glance, that catch, get a double take, you know what? Boom. Instant affirmation. That's okay. When it turns to eye fucking somebody, and I'm defining eye fucking, you have a constant gaze on another person for more than 5 seconds. Because you think about staring at someone for, like, 5 seconds is a long time to look at somebody. Like five whole seconds. It starts to get uncomfortable after the second. That's kind of what creeps women out. It's just like, okay, you get raped and murdered. Like, what's going on here? Like, what are you plotting? What are you plotting? And I think that D-Roy here, our live application officer, is possibly privy to that. It's hard for me to really tell. My guys are shooting shit on the beach. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Sorry. But if I'm wrong about this, if I'm wrong about this, women in the chat, please correct me. Feel free. I'm taking what I've gathered talking to women for years. Different types of women, different demographic, different age groups. And getting the double take, that's good. Getting the quick glance and kind of there we go, that's the term. Getting the double take, good. Getting the pregnant glance. And so we'll drag, what's a pregnant glance? So if I see something out of the corner of my eye like that, that's how long it takes me to glance. But if I look out the corner of my eye and I'm like, it's a big booty white girl back there. She's thick. Now that one was a much more relaxed glance where I could take everything in, but then it didn't turn into eye fucking. So that's the difference. Like, those two scenarios seem okay by most women's standards from what I can tell. But that's just creepy. So Amelia says, yes, I'm comfortable, and don't lick your lips all crazy and whatnot. Yeah, okay, there. I'm pretty, like, licking your lips. That's just, I don't know. I'm not sure how licking lips for any capacity is something that people, unless you already know that person and there's an inside joke, or you literally want to eat that person. I don't know. That it is just kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Just a wee bit weird, but no, hey, these are D-Roy standards, so who knows, right?
If you look me in my eye and you're reading my mind, you're reading my character, I'm hoping that you're getting the idea that, wow, he really thinks I'm beautiful, and that's where it ends. Not, oh, I want to sleep with you, or, oh, you know what I'm saying, I want to cheat on my wife if I got one, or, you know what I'm saying. I'm hoping that she's modest towards me as I'm trying very hard to be modest towards her, okay? Because to assume that every man wants to sleep with you is very immodest. Women.
Women's.
To assume that every man that looks you deep in the eyes wants to sleep with you is immodest. I would worry about the guys that would stare at your behind, you know, until your behind is out of the way. I've seen guys, you know.
LL Cool J is different. He can do that.
There was a guy that was so lustful one day. We was on the bus, and I did a live video on Facebook about it. There was a guy that was on the bus. This old guy. He had to be probably around my age. And I mean, he was looking for some, you know what I mean? And he, you know how you go up to the front of the bus to get off the bus, and the bus driver's here, and you got the aisle here, and he's sitting here in the front. And every young woman that walked up, I mean, his eyes was right there in the crack. Boom. And when she got off the bus, he would watch you stroll down the street.
Stand
You
hard.
know, he kept looking at it, you know what I'm saying? And he did it to every single woman. And I'm thinking, is he thinking that if he looks at all these women's buttocks, exactly what he was doing, if he looks at all these women's buttocks, is when I'm going to back up and come back up the steps of the bus and back up and say, hey, want to get laid tonight? I mean, what's he thinking? What's he thinking? No, men are not getting laid. And
I don't think that anybody. I don't think that anybody expects that. The old. So I've been around, especially older guys that have done stuff like that. They're taking it in. They're taking it in. If you are going to do something like that, at least don't let the person you're staring at know, because it is creepy. But it's not hurting anybody. So I don't think those guys think that if they stare at somebody's ass long enough that they're gonna get laid. I honestly don't think anybody believes that, because that's how would you, if you're not making eye contact, how would they even know? I don't know. But now I have to keep refreshing this chat. If I'm missing what y'all are saying, it's because this chat's freezing up. Convert. Yeah, I was aware of your after show, and somebody sent me somebody called me last night and told me about it, so I'm aware. Anytime any one of y'all mention me, somebody lets me know. Just be aware of that, for better or for worse, someone lets me know. So I appreciate you letting me know. But it's like me and my wife. If there is a good looking woman and she has a nice behind, me and her both are more than likely gonna look. If there is a dude who is run up, because there's a route that goes to a major road that heads like going towards NASA, like there's a NASA's here. I'm in Houston. It's NASA. So heading that way, a lot of people like to run. If there's a dude and the dude's in shape, I'm going to turn my head and go, man, I remember when I used to fucking look like that. That motherfucker there. And I would let my wife know, you see this six-pack looking dude here, big arms and shit? Look at all the veins he got in his arm. I'm going to let her know. Right? I'm not going to eye fuck him. But a lot of people do. You can admire another person, but here's the thing, D-Roy. It doesn't have to be sexual. It doesn't have to be. You can admire just the way that somebody's body shape is, the way that they take care of themselves. You can admire. So you know what? That's my motivation. Like you there's a non-sexual way that you can definitely go about admiring the human form. A lot of women do that to one another. They will admire another woman's physique because of how the work that she puts in, or maybe the work she's had done, whatever. It happens a lot amongst women. But yeah, for guys, largely, it is, hey, and especially, where is he? Especially Wujita in the chat. He is looking at women's asses and licking his lips, because that's a meal. He sees that, he sees a buffet. But that's Vegeta. He's Vegeta's special. We gotta work on him. So, but yeah, the video doesn't get much better than this, folks. It gets more interesting, slightly more interesting, than this, slightly, just a little bit.
You non-Christian, secular, pornographic men, okay? You're not getting laid because you're looking at women. You're not getting laid because you are doing anything good for women. You're getting laid because you're manipulating women. And some women like to be manipulated.
There we go.
I've heard that come right out of their mouths. Some women love the game because they don't plan on being with anybody. They don't plan on getting married anytime soon. They're in casual sex. So if a man want to spend 8 hours trying to, beg for that coochie, that's a turn on for her. I'll give him some.
Some women like that.
It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't make me a slut. It doesn't mean I've done anything wrong. It's just casual sex between two adults, right? I'm not trying to have a baby. I'm not trying to practice abortion. I'm not trying to be a fornicator. Just casual sex between a man and a woman. What's it bothering? But see, that attitude right there is all around us. It's in all the movies.
Okay.
Even NCIS, it's all about casual sex. When it comes...
I'm pretty sure the shows have plots.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything from, DiNozzo, okay, and when he was supposed to be working undercover with certain women, okay, all the way to Ziva David. It's all about sex outside of marriage. Okay? Marriage comes later. And that's the way it is in all the movies. Sex first, marriage after you decide that you want to do more than screw around. But you call these women your girlfriends. You call them with a capital G and a capital B. You call them your girlfriends and your boyfriends. But your motto is, let's have sex now. And then when we get tired of screwing around and we want it to be something more, we want to live together and we want to build a family together. And
So I'm trying to find the issue here, D-Roy. Like if you want to, there's a few things I want him to finish, folks. I want him to actually get through a thought, but he keeps meandering. So NCIS having character development and showing that, well, this person isn't for, let's say, monogamy. Right? They are perfectly fine with casual sex. They may be polyamorous, right? That's called character development. So people, are you going to watch a show where they're doing their job, they're solving crimes, and that's it? You don't really know anything about their sexual proclivities. You don't know like what they like or dislike. What makes them interesting? Well, these sets of characters are going to be developed in a way that isn't the status quo. Because for what you're establishing here, D-Roy, is that the status quo is now becoming what these particular characters are being developed into. Well, that's interesting, D-Roy. Maybe it's because the audience that's watching NCIS fits that direction that they're going in. Could it be, D-Roy, and this is a wild guess, that the people who make the fucking show understand the demographic of people who largely watch the show, and they understand how they behave, and so that they have characters that resemble that target audience? Maybe it's that people can relate to the characters. I'm just making a guess. I am just guessing at this. You would even say that this has been a practice in television for years, that characters receive treatment. They act out behaviors that resemble the audience that watches them. Crazy idea. Now, if you're making a social commentary, D-Roy, about what's going on in society, all these young people hooking up and their boyfriend and girlfriend, they're not really looking for anything long term, then that's fine. You can feel miffed by that because you're not having no casual sex, that whatever. That's them people and that's their life. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. If they're not hurting anybody and everybody's consenting, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that that's bad. So, with that being said, being upset that art is imitating life, well, your issue seems to be with life. That's what it seems. It seems to be that because the reality is that people behave this way, because they have certain desires and they're not willing to put themselves. Here's what also I don't get: why would you engage in a potential financial burden with somebody you don't even know if you're compatible with sexually? Right? Why that doesn't make sense. Would you go to a car lot and pick the first car that you fall in love with and not test drive it? Wouldn't you like to know if you fit in the car? Wouldn't you like to know how the car feels in bumpy roads before you commit to that lease or to whatever, financing you have? It would make sense to me. It would be pragmatic to go about that whole scenario with the understanding that I'm going to minimize my potential loss here. So it made perfect sense to me. It actually worked out for me. I was definitely banging the missus before we were married. And I told her, before we even move in with each other, I want to make sure that we're compatible in more ways than one. And even when we did move in, I said we're going to live together for at least a year. At least a year. Just to make sure we're compatible. Because I've known too many people who say, well, I'm just going to do the godly thing. And I like her and she likes me. And we're just going to move in together and we'll just figure it all out afterwards. And then they get divorced. Turns out one of them has a libido and the other doesn't. Man, it'd been nice to know that if they'd actually been engaging in some recreational activity and then found that out. Maybe they could have addressed it before kids were brought into the equation. Man. But that's just how I approach it. I try to be as practical and as pragmatic as possible. Not always. Definitely not always, but I try to be. I've never understood that mentality because it doesn't work out. You look at the divorces and the reasons, largely a lot of them are financial. But you can minimize some of those issues by test driving one another. Essentially. I guess it's a bad way to put it. But yeah, like test driving one another. So I'm not into that whole, being a virgin on your wedding night thing. That's just creepy. I'm going to be completely honest. That kind of shit's creepy to me. There's nothing special about a broken or an unbroken hymen. It just comes across as antiquated and creepy. So, but if people value that sort of thing, by all means, weirdo.
But we want to have years, if necessary, of sex.
Yes.
Before we claim to have, before we have to be responsible in any way for what we're doing. We want to have years of passionate
responsible in
sex
what way?
And just banging.
In what way do you work? Responsible in what way?
And I got married men, trying to go back there, and they're using me to fantasize because they see I'm single, so they want to pick at me, dude. I'm the same way now that I would be if I was married, because I'm a Christian. Okay, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's hard for me, especially being I'm not married and I got nobody to lay down with. But the fact is, I have to be just as modest as a single man as I would be if I was married. I have no right to lie to a woman by trying to talk to her when I only got one thing on my mind. I don't know nothing about you that I should want to talk to you, except I like your body and I want to sleep with you. So why would I talk to you? Okay, well, that's a nice body. I don't need to talk to you for 8 hours to 16 hours for you to know that.
It's possible to value more than that in women.
You know what I'm saying?
It is possible.
I'm going to take 16 hours to tell you, by the time I'm able to sleep with you, that, hey, you got a nice body. You know what I'm saying? That's the most modest thing ever. It's a lie. I don't need to lie to a woman and make her think that I'm interested in her when I'm only interested in her beauty. I'm not interested in her as a person.
Maybe you should just find more to value in women than just that. Like that initially. What you gravitate towards in another person may just be purely physical. Because it's your vision. Like you're going to see before you probably hear most people, obviously. But if you personally value more than just the physical, then yes, D-Roy. The physical draws you in, but then the mental, and in your case, spiritual, is what keeps you there. So, again, I think it comes down to a thing that's an issue with you. That's what it is. Drawing that connection with another woman, with a woman, Freudian slip, with a woman, is going to be based on what you find attractive, and that could be multifaceted. Yes, physical is the first thing that pops up, but again, like I feel like I'm repeating myself now. So,
if I'm interested in you as a person, why do you have to be beautiful?
Okay, then date ugly chicks.
If I'm interested in you as a person, why can't you be the fat singing lady? Why can't you be the little nerdy girl? Why can't you be the girl that got 100 wrinkles on her face? She's so ugly she look like a dude. If I like your personality, in which I'm that kind of a guy, okay, and everybody's trying to hook me up with everybody because they know that I have a habit of ignoring the pretty girls and giving of myself in ministry to the people that deserve that kind of love and attention because they give of themselves to everybody. So they deserve that kind of love and attention. But a beautiful woman that got everything going for her, including her mama, okay, treating her like a queen, okay, I don't feel I need to give you that attention. You got 100 guys already doing it in front of me. So I give attention to people that actually need it.
He's a wingman.
So I'm going to close there. Please watch part 2 of this when it comes out.
Oh, we will.
Because I might, if I don't do it tonight, I'll do it on my next couple days off. I'll do it on Thanksgiving Day. I'll do it on Thanksgiving Day. If I don't do it tonight, I'll do it on Thanksgiving Day. Bingo. Okay. I'll do it on Thanksgiving Day. So D-Roy Cruz, your life applications officer, new and on my Cruise for Christ channel. I will see you in a little bit, Lord willing. If the Lord tarry, God bless. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.
This is terrible. All right. So, as you can see, I'm a huge fan of lo-fi and Asian women. If you've not seen the Matt Slick debate, like me, you probably need to watch it. I was definitely not playing Pirates and listening to lo-fi and my wife last night. So, anyway. God. So, he did make part 2. Right after this, here it is. Are women honest among men? Part 2, the morale of cleavage. I'm not sure if what he meant to put there. Maybe he meant to put that. I'm not sure. So, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. If y'all wondering, I'll tell you, miss literally the entire thing. Literally. You can skip back to like 40 minutes in because I was just talking about other stuff. This explains his wife. Yeah. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. This explains a lot about D. I feel like I'm learning. I'm connecting with D-Roy more. I feel closer to him. Yeah. So, I actually need to see what time it is. Okay, so I need to hit up the wife and see when she's coming home, and she brought home my doggone gas tank so I can sit outside tomorrow and start molesting turkeys, or cook the turkey that have been previously molested. And we'll get done with that. Thanks for watching. I hope you women folk who possess the vaginas have now all had them turn into deserts because of his words about your behavior and what you should do with said vaginas, because that's always a good thing. That's always listening to a guy tell you what you should do with your body parts and what you should find attractive and everything and whatnot is the best way to get through to the women folk. So it's always worked out in my case. Exactly. That's what I've done. So yeah. Anyway. One chip challenge later. For those of you who are just now tuning in, this whatever this is going to be terrible. So it's made from the Carolina Reaper. Eat at your own risk, not for the faint of heart. Not everyone will enjoy the extreme heat. Do not eat if you are sensitive to spicy foods, allergic to peppers, nightshades, or capsaicin, or are pregnant or have any medical conditions. Keep out of reach of children. After touching the chip, wash your hands with soap and do not touch your eyes or other sensitive areas. Seek medical assistance if you experience difficulty breathing. That's a sign of anaphylaxis. If you can't handle the heat, try drinking milk or eating ice cream. Fear the Reaper and consider yourself warned. So yes. Yes, folks. It's going to be terrible. Absolutely terrible. But I ate the noodles. I can't remember what the noodles are called. But actually, I still have a few packs of the noodles. It's pretty spicy, but So hopefully this lights a fire under my ass. And y'all get to see me sweat. Keith sweat. So, on that note, y'all have a good ass day.